Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Accused of sexually assaulting a young girl. We are learning more tonight about the local man's history. That man, the former CEO of Laurel Ridge, a mental health facility for children and adults.
As Katrina Weber reports, some people are wondering, with his background, why he was hired there in the first place.
It's a mugshot that opened a floodgate of findings. As we first reported last Friday, 45-year-old Jacob Cuellar has been arrested on charges of repeatedly sexually assaulting a child. The girl, who was 11 at the time, first reported it 2 years ago. Cuellar is the former CEO of Laurel Ridge Treatment Center, which offers mental health help to vulnerable children and adults.
I think it's really messed up. Some of the kids that go here are here because of, trauma from sexual assaults.
This man had concerns about the case as he dropped off an underage loved one at the center today. Although the girl in the criminal case is not connected to Laurel Ridge, new information raises questions about why Cuellar was even hired there. We quickly found something concerning just by doing a simple Google search. A record showing that Jacob Cuellar was denied a medical license back in 2008 in North Carolina because of a previous conviction for obscene photo. A deeper dive showed us he actually was arrested in that state in 1998 on 6 counts related to pornography.
If they knew that he already had those allegations and stuff like that, they shouldn't have even hired him.
In a statement, Laurel Ridge told us they're not aware of any improper conduct involving any patients there. They say Cuellar voluntarily stepped down from the top job 3 weeks ago, but they did not answer our questions right away about whether they knew of his criminal history when they hired him. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
We heard back from Laurel Ridge just before 3:30 this afternoon. A spokesperson told us they did do a background check on Cuellar, but they did not say what was found in that check or if they knew he had a criminal history when he was hired.
We have an update on a body that was found in Salado Creek earlier this month. The Bexar County Medical Examiner identifying the man as Jarvis McIntyre. He's from Missouri. Here's what we know about his death. On June 9th, someone called 911 saying he was being chased on Holbrook Road by a man with a rifle. When officers went to check it out, they didn't find anything. 5 days later, on June 14th, McIntyre's body was found. Right now, the Bexar County Medical Examiner trying to figure out his cause and manner of death.
The family of a man who died while being booked into the Bexar County Jail is now suing 2 Bexar County deputies. Emmanuel Mora was arrested on parole violations and a drug possession charge. He was going through the intake process when his family says that Mora suffered drug-induced delirium. He was taken to the ground, as you can see there, tased and dosed twice with Narcan. But the family's lawsuit focuses on what happened when deputies put Mora back on the ground in the prone position with his feet up and a deputy on top of him.
The United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit has held for more than a decade that this prone or hog-tie position is considered lethal force, especially if there's a suspicion that a person is experiencing a drug reaction. And in this case, they knew because they'd already administered Narcan.
Mora remained cuffed face down on the ground with his feet up and a deputy on top of him for more than 3 minutes. When deputies tried to sit him back on that bench, he was found unresponsive.
Today, one of the suspects charged in the murders of a pregnant 18-year-old Savannah Soto and her boyfriend Matthew Guerra trying to get his bond reduced again. Today, the attorney for Ramon Preciado tried to get his bonds reduced from $450,000 to $35,000. The judge denied that bond reduction. Preciado charged with abuse of a corpse as well as concealing a corpse. An arrest affidavit states he and his wife, Mirta Romanos, helped hide the bodies of Savannah and Matthew after his son Christopher killed them last December. A trial date has not been set yet.
Meantime, a trial centered on some gruesome allegations is just about to begin. Andres Tarnava is charged with shooting, dismembering, and burning the remains of a San Antonio woman.
Our Erica Hernandez gives us a recap on this case and what we can expect to hear in upcoming testimony.
Marisol Klingelhofer was only 49 when her life was brutally cut short. On May 7, 2021, Marisol was reported missing by her family, who had last saw her on April 26.
I was praying, God, let me be wrong, and I hope she's somewhere in the hospital.
As investigators searched for Marisol, several witnesses helped lead them to this man, Andres Tarnava. According to an arrest affidavit, Tarnava confessed to having killed Marisol. He told them that he not only shot her, but dismembered her and burned her remains in barrels. Those barrels found on a property in Atascosa County. The reason he gave police as to why he killed the woman he once dated was because Marisol allegedly stole items from him that belonged to his late father. Tarnava, who has a criminal background, was then arrested and charged with murder at the end of May in 2021.
Jumping ahead to February of this year, and that confession video, the subject of a hearing, his attorneys saying that he didn't voluntarily confess, and then parts of that video shown in the hearing.
She took one thing of my father that I truly wanted to keep.
A judge later denying the motion to suppress the confession as it will be entered into trial and shown to a jury. A key piece of evidence for the state to possibly secure a conviction. And that trial is set to begin on Tuesday, June 18th. We will be live streaming on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and KSAT's YouTube page. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Today, San Antonio ISD held its first meeting to decide what to do with the buildings that are now vacant after the district's so-called right-sizing plan. At the end of the school year, 12 campuses were eliminated from the district. Now, SAISD officials want public input on what to do with those empty buildings. The district's repurposing panel is meeting once a month to try and plan out the next steps. You can scan a QR code that we have right here on the bottom of your screen that will take you to a web story with a link to send SAISD your ideas, plus information on schedules for future meetings.
Let's turn to weather right now. And yes, the Gulf is our friend when it comes to rain, Adam.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes it can be a little too much of a good thing, but when you need the rain like we do right now, we are turning to the Gulf for some of that moisture, and I do think we'll be cashing in on it by Wednesday and Thursday. Right now, we're getting these very light little pop-up showers, especially some of our eastern counties, and most of that's dissipating. Lavaca County, DeWitt County, they're having a hard time really sustaining themselves. You head south down to Pleasanton, and just west of Pleasanton, Atascosa County, one quick little pop-up. You may see one off in the distance. That's about it. What we're really watching is this area in the southern Gulf of Mexico. Now, this is the area that the National Hurricane Center is watching. And you see these reds. This is infrared satellite imagery. This indicates higher cloud tops, which is a clear indication of development. But we're watching, for our purposes, some of this action here in the central Gulf and farther to the west. I'll talk about how that's going to impact our weather and how much rain we could get in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Let's check out traffic right now. Let's go to I-10 at Woodlawn. We're talking about the upper ramps there. It's been a construction area for a while, but right now construction has the lanes down to 1. We're talking about the westbound lanes of I-10 at Woodlawn, upper deck. You can see just one lane open as they continue the construction there.
Today, Southwest Research Institute broke ground on their newest facility. That new facility will be dedicated to hypersonic engine research. Southwest Research officials say that building will help meet increasing demands for high-speed engines. Research at the facility will include the evaluation of a supply chain designed to produce high-speed engines in a shorter amount of time than ever before.
I think it's going to be great for San Antonio to have this facility here. It puts us on the map when it comes to this technology space and an ability to keep expanding that role.
The new facility cost an estimated $34 million. Southwest Research Institute says they are starting to hire for new positions there, too. No word on how many jobs that will bring to San Antonio.
Plus, it just sounds cool.
Hypersonic engines.
Hypersonic engines. That's what I'm all about. All right, happening later this week, we're getting answers to your questions about child health care. Scan this QR code to submit any question you have about your child's health. We're going to take those questions to a local pediatrician. She's going to join us on Thursday. KSAT 12's Doc Talk airs every Thursday at 6:30.
Also happening later this week, KSAT and AARP Texas hosting a special conversation about Social Security. Maybe you haven't thought about how the program affects you now, but chances are you'll need it once you retire. Our Stefania Jimenez is hosting that special. You can watch it on Wednesday right here on KSAT 12 at 7 o'clock. You can also watch it on our website, KSAT Plus, and on the KSAT YouTube channel.
A couple feuding over how to divide up assets during a divorce, not out of the ordinary, but San Antonio police say Juan Hernandez Barrios crossed over the line into harassment during a phone call recorded by his then wife last year.
I want your soul. I want your kids. I want your soul. I want everything of you.
What does that mean?
In just a few minutes, KSAT investigates what happened when this case went to trial and why the district attorney's office is now taking a critical look at what happened.
Coming up after the break, did you know that heat can hide symptoms of type 1 diabetes? Up next, hear from a patient who wants you to know the signs to look out for this summer.
But first, let's take a live look outside with live cam. A good chance of rain in the forecast later this week. Meteorologist Adam Caskey will tell us when we can expect it, how much rain we could get. It's coming up.
It's starting to become a common sight near Medina Lake, a dock on completely dry land. So coming up tonight in the Night Beat, we're walking you through how the drought and low water levels are impacting property values in the real estate market out here in Medina Lake.
Sweltering summer heat is enough to deal with on its own, but it can also help mask the signs of type 1 diabetes. That's an autoimmune disorder different than type 2 diabetes, and it causes excessive thirst, which can be overlooked when it's hot outside.
Yeah, Courtney Friedman spoke to a young patient who wants families to know what they should look for, explaining why it's so important to catch the signs early.
Meet Rufus, the type 1 diabetes bear that 8-year-old Sophia Roussel uses to teach other kids about her condition.
So like here you can put the pump, and here you can put the Dexcom and pump. Here is where you can do the finger pricks on the hands.
She's a pro because she has those gadgets herself.
What do you got on here? Are those puppies?
Yeah.
The Dexcom constantly checks her blood sugar. It's just one tool for type 1 diabetes patients.
Down here is where the pump is, and it gives me insulin and basically keeps me alive.
It was 2 years ago Sophia was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, which is very different than type 2.
Really thirsty, cranky, but also really shaky.
She kept saying, "Mom, I'm thirsty." And I was like, "Okay, where's your water?" "Oh, I finished it."
Sophia's mom, Connie Ann Roussel, has 2 family members with type 1 diabetes, so they caught it somewhat early, and Sophia was not hospitalized for long.
We were all kind of like, how did we not see this? But there's so many ways for it to be thought of as normal things that just go on.
Especially now when it's so hot outside and it's normal for kids to stay super hydrated. But there are other symptoms. Frequent urination, feeling lethargic, being excessively hungry yet losing weight, blurred vision, and even a fruity breath smell.
It's harder for toddlers because they can't communicate as well.
Maybe if you have a child that's not potty trained yet, maybe you're having to change their diaper more often.
Advocacy group Breakthrough T1D board member Michelle Day says kids who are potty trained often start wetting the bed, and catching all these signs can save a child's life.
Diabetic ketoacidosis can cause comas and seizures. High blood sugar for a long period of time can cause neuropathy, heart issues.
Day's daughter Addison was diagnosed 5 years ago and wants kids to learn the signs too. So like Sophia, they can live awesome, active lives.
I feel like everyone else.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
What a great spokesman little Sophia is.
And I so appreciate her and her mom sharing that, because so often in kids, they can't tell you this is exactly what I'm feeling. So it's important to hear those signs.
Well, and I have a niece that has type 1 diabetes, and, they knew something was wrong. Yeah. The loss of weight, the thirst, all of that. But yeah, I mean, it's easily to see why it could be masked during the summer.
Oh yeah, especially, this time of year. I mean, everybody's reaching for water, especially kids. They're out running. So definitely appreciate that story.
All right. Meanwhile, we're expecting some rain, and it could be big time rain, Adam.
Yeah, I really think we're likely to see some drought denting rain, and for some areas, even drought busting rain. That depends on how deep in drought you are and where the heaviest rain band's set up. But notice tomorrow, another 20% chance. Wednesday, we're up to 70%. And that's especially midday Wednesday, Wednesday night, and then through a good chunk of Thursday at 60%. But there will be some moments of heavy rainfall as well. And even Friday on the backside of the main system, some scattered activity likely to pop up. So this is good. This is what we need. This is what we're looking for. Here's what we're watching right now. See this cluster of clouds and then embedded storms in the Gulf of Mexico? This is from New Orleans southward all the way down into the southern Gulf, the Bay of Campeche. I'm switching over to our infrared satellite imagery here, and the reds indicate the taller clouds, the colder cloud tops. And the Hurricane Center is watching this little area of new circulation in the southern Gulf, just west of the Yucatan Peninsula. That's where we could have a tropical cyclone develop. But what we're watching for our purposes around here, this action just south of New Orleans that even stretches back closer to western Cuba. The north end of this system is basically a separate disturbance that's going to bring us the moisture and even upper level energy that we would need to develop the showers and storms. So looking at the latest from the Hurricane Center, potential tropical cyclone. Aren't they all potential tropical cyclones? Anyway, it's given that name right now. But this system likely to become tropical storm Alberto. But despite a name or not, the impacts really don't change for our area. Now, there is a little bit of a storm surge threat for parts of our Texas coastline here. You see this yellow area? That indicates the potential of the water being about 1 to 3 feet higher than the typical tide as this system moves in Wednesday into Thursday. But again, the brunt of it and a weekend tropical storm would be to our south. Look at the futurecast and timing out the rain. We'll see it start to move inland from the coast and from the Gulf during the day on Wednesday. I don't think we'll wake up to it on Wednesday, but Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, it slowly works its way in around San Antonio, surrounding areas, and even Wednesday night into Thursday. The heaviest of the rain likely moving off to West Texas on Thursday, but still some showers scattered across our area. And the rain will be heavy at times, so flash flooding and street flooding, of course, is a potential because of the rain coming down. Our atmosphere will be saturated from the ground all the way up to 30,000 feet. And with the appropriate upper level energy that's associated with this, it's going to wring out that moisture and give us potentially 3 to 7 inches of rain for neighborhoods across south central Texas. And I know it's a pretty wide range because we know how rainfall works around here. You can't just say, oh, everybody in San Antonio is going to get 2.5 inches. It doesn't work that way. We know how it is. But a good range is 3 to 7 inches over the period of a couple of days. Tomorrow, just a 20% chance. We're up to 93 for the high temperature, a bit breezy too, an east wind at 10 to 20. So in the 90s tomorrow. That's the nice thing about this pattern shift is that we're looking at cooler temperatures. 80s for highs Wednesday and Thursday, low to mid 80s with that moisture that's moving in. Coming up at 6:45, we'll talk more about the amount of moisture in the air and what that means for our rainfall totals.
Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you, Adam.
All right, he is the Cowboys star on defense. One is the Cowboys coach.
Yep.
How do they get along, Larry?
And that's what they were asked 2 weeks ago at mandatory minicamp. Micah Parsons, the star pass rusher. How is his relationship with head coach Mike McCarthy? Because it's always important for your superstars to get along with your head coach. And the Dallas Mavericks will look to extend the NBA Finals tonight. Coming up.
We don't feel like it's us. We don't feel like we have any pressure on us. For us, we're just trying to go out there, have fun, and play free. So we're down 3-1, and we're just trying to come in and obviously get a win.
Mavs power forward P.J. Washington says all the pressure tonight is all on the Boston Celtics and Big Board Sports. All right, we last saw the Dallas Cowboys 2 weeks ago at mandatory minicamp, and one of the storylines was all about star pass rusher Micah Parsons, who opted to train away from the star in Frisco until it was mandatory for him to show up. Micah said it's no big deal, and head coach Mike McCarthy pretty much echoed the same thing, saying Parsons remained engaged the entire time he trained elsewhere. Micah is entering his 4th season with the boys and Coach McCarthy, and he says his bond with Mike is only getting stronger.
Oh, me and Coach McCarthy are super well. We met for an hour or so just the other week. I think people don't understand how much more I think McCarthy's invested into me on becoming a leader and what he thinks I value the team and where we're headed. So I think me and McCarthy is really good, and I actually value our conversations and our relationship growing more as he's been here, and I think that's very powerful to me because, obviously I think he's kind of took on the challenge of when Dan left to kind of be that voice for me, and I really appreciate that.
McCarthy and the Cowboys are 6 weeks away from training camp in Oxnard, California. And despite facing elimination once again tonight, Mavs star Luka Doncic was still having fun with his teammates at shoot around this morning. Luka's really just a big kid and always messing around with the other guys. After going down 3-0, the Mavs bounced back in Game 4 in Dallas, routing the Celtics 122-84. Now the odds are still against the Mavs coming back to win the series, and they're okay with that. And as long as they have another game to play, they do like their chances of upsetting the Celtics.
We were underdog coming in, and probably people think we're losing tonight. So for us, just like I said, just have fun with it. Yeah, we talked about it in Dallas, here, and throughout shoot-around. Just like I said, just all about having fun. The world's against us. Everybody's against us right now. So we just continue to have fun and just stick up for each other.
Before losing Game 4 the other night, Boston was on a roll as winners of 10 straight. They lost Game 2 versus the Cavaliers in the conference semifinals and then rolled into the NBA Finals, and they are confident they will end this series tonight.
We got a great group, a resilient group, a tough group, and we don't like to lose. So we do our best to prepare each and every night for each and every game, and we're looking forward to the next game on the schedule. We wanted to go for the kill, essentially, and we wanted to win so bad that maybe we got away from what makes us special and what makes us the Boston Celtics. So today just reminding each guy why he's important to this team, why we all need each other, and what every person brings to the table. I think that was really important for us to go over today.
That was Tatum talking about a conversation Coach Mazzulla had with the Celtics. Game 5 is tonight at 7:30 on KSAT 12, and Boston is favored by 6.5 points.
Did I just hear Jason Tatum slide into a little bit of a New England accent there when he said Boston? I mean, you can tell he's been there for a while.
He has been there a while, for sure.
That's what I think. Yeah. Thanks, Larry.
Coming up next, San Antonio police say a man crossed a line into harassment during a divorce with his wife. After the break, KSAT investigates what happened when this case went to trial and why the district attorney's office is now taking a critical look at it. A San Antonio woman blames the Bexar County District Attorney's Office for failing to get a conviction in a harassment case against her ex-husband.
Juan Hernandez-Barrios was cleared of criminal wrongdoing this spring, even after audio recordings emerged of him making sexually graphic comments about her children and saying he wanted her soul.
I want your dad. I want everything. I want everything of you.
The justice system does not protect victims. Not in this city.
KSAT investigates what happened when it came time for trial. A warning, this story includes audio recordings that may not be suitable for all viewers.
Dr. Melissa Graham says she first decided to report her then estranged husband to San Antonio police in the spring of 2022. He had called her, according to SAPD records, 30 times in the middle of the night, then activated the couple's robotic vacuum and made comments that frightened her and her children. It was the first of 5 times in 21 months Graham reported Juan Hernandez-Barrios to police, including this May 2023 incident. While an SAPD officer stayed outside, Hernandez-Barrios was supposed to inventory the home. Instead, according to police, he defecated in a toilet without flushing, urinated in a toilet without flushing, and on the floor, and rummaged through items throughout the residence. Last August, as the couple continued to feud over who should be awarded their home, Hernandez-Barrios called Graham.
The house is not your house.
It is.
Try me.
Graham told KSAT she had had enough and decided to record her soon-to-be ex.
It just progressively escalated, screaming, obscenities, talking, sexually about my daughter. It was terrible.
The call, at times, is difficult to listen to.
Your daughter's gonna get your son's gonna become gay, you get I want your soul. I want your kids. I want your soul. I want everything of you. You! Damn! Everything! You!
Within days, investigators issued a warrant for Hernandez Barrios' arrest, charging him with harassment. He was taken into custody weeks later.
Graham previously worked as a staff psychologist for the San Antonio Police Department and then later the fire department. Despite spending her career counseling first responders, sometimes about their own domestic situations, Graham said nothing prepared her for what happened when her case went to court.
She says she didn't hear from the Bexar County District Attorney's Office for nearly 8 months before finally getting a call from a victim advocate on a Thursday night, advising her to be in court ready to testify the following Monday.
I finally met the prosecutor 5 minutes before I was to show up in court. He told me, just listen to the tapes on Sunday.
Things did not go well for Graham. Attorneys for Hernandez Barrios were able to get the recordings tossed out after the prosecution failed to include in the charging paperwork that he had threatened his then wife. The judge issued a directed verdict of not guilty. Graham says the trial was over almost just as soon as it began.
To put yourself out there and go after something that's right, even when it's painful, to make yourself vulnerable, it's really hard. And honestly, one of my first thoughts was, if this can happen to me, how many other women is it happening to? That their cases just don't get taken seriously.
In a statement, DA spokesman Pete Gallego told KSAT the office contacted Graham 3 times before trial, but that schedule demands kept prosecutors from meeting with her in person before the first trial setting, and that the main prosecutor assigned to it had reviewed all of the evidence. Quote, as with any trial proceeding, the ultimate result is out of our hands. Even so, we are taking a critical look at the history of this case and working to ensure that our work is thorough and diligent across our caseload so that victims' voices are heard. Graham called the statement, quote, BS. Apparently they did not take it seriously and the DA was competently inept, end quote. Graham said prosecutors should have made more effort to contact her ahead of trial to get her side of what happened, should have done more research into how to properly charge her ex, and should have pushed for the judge to listen to the recordings prior to her ruling on whether to toss them out.
Juan?
Yes, sir.
Hi. I'm Dylan with KSAT 12.
Reached at the home he once shared with Graham, Hernandez Barrios first closed the door on KSAT without commenting.
Can I leave my card?
He then came outside and spoke with us at length about beating the criminal case.
I told her, to off. I told her all these things I did.
Hernandez Barrios said he'd been drinking the night in question, and the call was the culmination of close to 2 years of pent-up frustration.
One phone call that I regret, and I apologize for stuff that I said. I was intoxicated, but I didn't mean any harm.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
Last November, a civil district court judge denied Graham's petition for a protective order against Hernandez Barrios. The denial came weeks after he was arrested in that case. Although there were no domestic violence charges filed in this case, KSAT would like to remind our viewers that we have gathered a significant list of resources and placed them on our domestic violence webpage. Help is available. You can find those resources by scanning the QR code you see right here on your screen. We'll be right back.
If you have a baby at home, you probably go through a lot of baby wipes, but do you know what's in them?
Tonight, 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz takes a look at the ingredients in baby wipes and tells us why you should never leave them in the car.
If you have small children, you probably have baby wipes everywhere.
My diaper bag, my kitchen, in both kids' rooms by the change stations and in the car.
Whether you use wipes for diaper changes, removing makeup, or cleaning sticky fingers, you want them to be safe. So Consumer Reports teamed up with Made Safe to investigate the list of ingredients. Of 15 brands they looked at, 7 had what they called concerning or unclear ingredients.
These wipes contain potentially harmful chemicals, including some that may be linked to cancer risks. Many are made from plastics that don't break down in the environment.
And some have a low pH balance, which might irritate skin. CR contacted the companies. Coterie and Costco said they use very small amounts of certain chemicals as preservatives or skin conditioning agents. Pampers said their ingredients undergo rigorous safety testing. CR says some better biodegradable wipes that aren't too expensive include Healthy Baby, The Honest Company, Kaboo, and Water Wipes. When shopping, they suggest avoiding potentially harmful chemicals. Go for biodegradables and fragrance-free. As for storing wipes,
Heating them in a wipe warmer may seem like a good idea, but it can be a breeding ground for bacteria.
the FDA says temperature extremes, like hot cars, can break down preservatives and allow bacteria and mold to grow faster.
And don't flush them, even if it says flushable. Consumer Report says don't do it. It's the best way to avoid a plumbing clog. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
All right, they're great for babies, also apparently great for meteorologists who want to take off their makeup at the end of a tough, hard day.
Oh, yeah.
I do. I use them as a makeup remover, and they're fantastic, but I am kind of a wipe snob. Huggies only.
And we've talked...
Huggies only. Yep.
Once, right? That's where things go.
I like that Adam's a Huggies man.
I'm a Huggies man, and I'm a Huggies snob for wiping my makeup off because it doesn't get stuck on any little stubble that's left over. Like other ones will leave marks or kind of get in your hair and whatnot, and they're just more durable. They really are. And I use the unscented, of course. I don't like the scented stuff. Okay.
I didn't realize this was going to be that deep a conversation.
Oh, I could go on, by the way.
Now I know.
What we're watching in the tropics right now in the Gulf of Mexico, the energy between New Orleans and Cancun and even eastward closer to Cuba, that's what's going to be pushing our way, and that's going to give us some drought-denting rain in the days ahead. We'll time it out and talk about what that means for later this week in just a bit.
All right, we're gearing up for what could be some significant rain in our area, Adam.
Yeah, it's nice to say in June we could actually have some good drought-denting rain. And I want to start with a product that talks about the available moisture in our atmosphere. And we're talking from the ground all the way up tens of thousands of feet. And I want to just widen out the view quickly. You look in the western U.S., especially in desert, you see that brown color, there isn't much available moisture. But where the Gulf of Mexico pushes moisture into the air, you start to see those greens, there's more available moisture, especially now with extra tropical moisture in the Gulf of Mexico. This white area is the very, very saturated air, so the high moisture content in this area. Now watch as we go into Wednesday and Thursday. That high moisture content moves right overhead into our neighborhood, right into our neck of the woods. We have the high moisture content. That just increases the rainfall potential in terms of how much we could get and how much these showers and storms could squeeze out of the air. There's a lot of availability. They just have to then squeeze it out, and we'll have the energy to squeeze it out. Latest drought monitor, of course, still shows some of the extreme drought in parts of the hill country, especially Kendall County, Kerr County, Bandera County, and then the newer extreme drought area in Del Rio over toward Brackettville and parts of Val Verde and Kinney counties. And obviously in between, we need the rain as well. And it does look like we'll have some good drought denting rain on the way. So as I mentioned before, the Hurricane Center is focused right down here, down in the southern Gulf of Mexico, Bay of Campeche. That's where they're focused on a circulation developing. And of course, they're really anxious to give it a name and give it a title, right? You just have to in these situations. Still going to be a weak storm. The impact's not going to change because I know when perception is oh, Tropical Storm Alberto, it's got a name, must be a big deal. No, it really doesn't change how big of a deal it is or not. Here's what we're watching. You can ignore that system down there, okay? For now, it doesn't really matter. We're watching this moisture, that high moisture content, and all these clouds and showers and storms that have developed as a result of that, and some upper level energy that's moving our way. So here's the Hurricane Center making their prediction of potential tropical cyclone 1, right? The potential tropical cyclone. And they all have that potential, but anyway, that's the title for it now. And this is likely to become Tropical Storm Alberto. But notice the maximum wind speeds, 45 miles per hour, 45 miles per hour. We're looking at rain from this situation. So I don't care what the headlines are in the days ahead. For us here in Texas, it's all about rain. And that's the impact, is going to be rain. 20% chance tomorrow, unrelated to that tropical upper tropospheric trough that's moving in. It's more of what it is. 70% chance Wednesday, 60% Thursday, and still 40% chance on Friday on the back end. You look at the overall rainfall potential and how it overspreads our area in the next 7 days. And this is going to change. The real bullseyes of it will change in the hours and days ahead, from some of the heaviest being south of San Antonio to maybe overhead to maybe south again. That's going to bounce around a little bit until the showers and storms actually form. They haven't even formed yet, and we're trying to predict exactly where they're going and how much rain is going to fall. Tomorrow, pretty straightforward, more like today, 20% chance of some afternoon pop-up showers, splash and dash, pretty insignificant. 76 in the morning, 93 for the afternoon high. Mid-90s as you go off to the west, Uvalde, Sabinal, 96, and 93 Converse, Bulverde at 92. You look ahead at our temperatures, they take a big dip. I mean, the summer solstice is on Thursday. We'll be in the 80s, low to mid 80s for afternoon highs Wednesday and Thursday.
That's pretty good. Thank you, Adam.
All right, Mickey Mouse money. We're going to talk about it in the buzz when we come back.
In the buzz today, some Americans are willing to break the bank for a Disney vacation. Nearly half of parents in the U.S. go into debt during a trip to see Mickey, Minnie, and the whole other cast of characters. That's according to a survey from Lending Tree.
Officials there say the average family breaks the budget by nearly $2,000 when they go to these parks, and in some cases, they need a few months to fully pay the tab. Many blame pricey foods and souvenirs for busting the budget, so think twice before you buy those ears.
Or something Star Wars related.
Exactly.
Very expensive.
Yeah.
A wild ride at an amusement park in Portland, Oregon. This gigantic rotating ride became stuck upside down, trapping the terrified riders midair. This happened at Oaks Amusement Park on opening day.
Yeah. They're all upside down.
That is my
in this
nightmare.
video. Can you imagine this?
No.
The giant spinning ride malfunctioned, suspended 28 people upside down for half an hour. Rescue crews there to help operators get the ride back to the ground. No one was hurt. The ride is now shut down. Happy opening day, everyone.
Upside down for way too long.
Yeah. No, thank you.
We'll be right back.
All right, as we were talking before, we could easily see 3 to 7 inches of rain in many rain gauges across south central Texas, and that could lead to some street flooding Wednesday and Thursday.
Okay, we got lots to watch this week. Thanks, Adam. Thank you for watching the news at 6.
See you on the night beat after Game 5.